Hello, sir. Welcome to the CI Agenda series.
All right, it is a pleasure to be on the show. Thank you for inviting me. And I'm excited to be here to share my thoughts to make sure that there's something that is a takeaway at the end of the show. My name is Sunil King, and I work as the Chief Strategy Officer at NeoLotex. We are based in Bangalore, and as we call it, we are a business that helps in digitization, and digital transformation. Simply put, through our products and services, digitization, we leverage your past. Digitalization, we strengthen your present. And through digital transformation technologies, we sculpt your future. So that's our tagline. Leverage your past, strengthen your present, and sculpt your future. And I'm in charge of the product strategy here and the organization growth in all spheres. And I'm very happy to be here, part of this CXO TV.
That's amazing, sir. Thank you so much for your introduction. I would like to begin with the first question. What are the key digital transformation trends and technologies that you believe will significantly impact the business landscape in 2024, and how is your organization preparing to leverage them?
Okay, 2024, but we'll have to understand, the origins and the journey that we have had on the digital transformation front. Today, it looks like a very buzzword that is, that everybody is talking about. But I think somewhere around the 2009, 2010, this term was coined. And for me, I was introduced to this first in 2012. I remember I was working at the Stanford Graduate School of Business. I was working with their technology team, and we got a new CIO. And the new person came and he said, we are going to undergo a digital transformation. And Stanford, as you see, is a legacy, huge organization. And they had, tons of applications and data and everything. And he said, we're going to do digital transformation. So he introduced terms like application rationalization, modernization, embracing the cloud, flipped class. It was a fascinating journey for us. In 2012, when this was a new term, working on the digital strategy with him, calling ourselves the digital solutions team, that was a really, really interesting thing. And I like to say around that time, there was a person called Sebastian Thrun. He's called the father of the MOOCs. He put the entire Stanford courses on the internet and said everybody should be allowed to access it. And this was the first time that a Stanford course was put on the internet for people to access. That was the beginning of the MOOCs. And, from that, we have seen the Udacity, the Coursera, and nowadays the Khan Academy, the Unacademy, all these, education has changed the face of delivery because of the MOOCs. So that was the first digital transformation. And then when the CIO at the GSP, when he decided that the emails are going to go out on the cloud, it was a sacrilege. It was unheard of. Just imagine the emails of Stanford GSP going out on the cloud. But he pulled it through to the team that worked, and with the help of Google, Sergey was one of the, I think, the ex-alumni in the Stanford Business School, and it was all a fascinating thing to happen. Over the course of about 3 to 4 years, the entire school transformed. And that was the beginning of the digital transformation of all other schools of the Stanford University. So that was my first foray way back in 2012. And then, this digital transformation in the Indian context, close at home, is even more fascinating. The journey is excellent. If you remember Aadhaar, we started sometime in 2013, 14. Nandan Nilekani was in charge of that. And when the Aadhaar was introduced, it was a unique identification, a digital, a digital initiative by the government to give every single Indian citizen an identity. And subsequently, I think close to 1.3, 1.4 billion of us have got the Aadhaar. Now, the benefits of that is when the Geo was launched in 2014-15, and they were able to onboard millions of customers in the first 6 months because they used Aadhaar for their identification or verification. Even today, where when you see a KYC, when you had to do a KYC, and Aadhaar is a legitimate information that is used. And then we had the UPI, and who can forget the demonetization in 2016? And when that happened, all of us were pushed to a cashless digital economy. And today I hear that we do billions of transactions via UPI every day. And I'm sure even you do it, even if it is buying vegetables for 20, 30 rupees, we use a UPI. And I'm sure each one of us have been traveling, and we've had this this experience with FASTag. As soon as your car goes and stops there, just within a matter of seconds, the gate opens and then you're allowed to pass through. Just imagine the kind of economical changes that the FASTag has brought. And then in 2019, we had, unfortunate situation, we had the COVID. But, a billion of us got vaccinated. And not only that, we got our vaccination certificate. I have to tell you this because I was one of the earliest to travel to the United States 2 years after the lockdown happened, and then when travel opened. And then when I was at Frankfurt Airport, boarding my flight to US, there were about 500, 600 people waiting in line, waiting in the long queue to fill up a form for their COVID vaccination. But then I just pulled out my phone and I pulled out my vaccination certificate that was stored on the COVID app. And when I showed it, even the people at that airport was amazed. They said, wow, you guys have made really huge digital strides. So all this coming together. Today, imagine a situation when we are traveling to the airport. We can hail a cab on Uber. You can reach there and you can pull out all your boarding pass or your ID card, anything that is stored on your phone on DigiLocker. You can just show it there. And if somebody needs a vaccination certificate, show it on your phone. And more importantly, there have been many other applications in India. Like, for example, the Porter or the Dunzo app. Even if at the airport, if you have forgotten, let's say, your charger, you can just call your people at home and you can just say, hey, I forgot my charger. Can you Dunzo it to me? That's become a verb. Now, this is digital transformation. In India, we have both the government that has provided us with a lot of digital infrastructure, and also we have a lot of startups, successful startups, which are bombarding us with digital infrastructure every day. Now, what happens is it makes life simpler, right? Digital transformation over the last 10, 12 years has made life simpler. But even more simpler, if you look at 2023, what happened was early January, February, ChatGPT was introduced. Now, ChatGPT changed the way that business was being done. Content was being prepared. Almost everybody who is computer savvy started using ChatGPT. And in the beginning of this year, I think we have used we've been exposed to another, fascinating piece of technology from Gen AI called as Sora. I think many of us would have seen it. This is a text to video generation, and fascinating results. I think it was Kunal Shah who asked, I want to see a competition of all the aquatic animals, Olympic style. And he was, the OpenAI generated the kind of video that you'll never get to see. And then early January, Apple released its Vision Pro. And if you have seen that, it's a great piece of technology. And I also saw one video which explains that you can do a surgery virtually. So if you really look at technology in 2024, I think this Gen AI coming together along with the cloud technologies, the low code, no code, the hyper automation, everything is going to come in together, converge together, and we're going to have a great 2024. I'm looking forward to it. And more importantly, we are in the business of automation. So I'm looking forward to that because the data says 85% of the data is still unstructured. And workflow automation is going to be critical for business. So that's the business that we are in. So I'm looking forward to it, Nikita.
Thank you so much, sir, for your answer. My next question is, as a technology leader, how do you see your role evolving in the coming year to align more closely with the organization's digital transformation goals and support its overall business strategy?
Okay. Since I joined NeoLotex, we have been restructuring a lot. We had a lot of products and solutions all intermingled and working together closely. But since I joined, what we have done is we have gone on a business transformation initiative. So not just digital transformation, but also business transformation. So what business transformation does is that it is people-led. It's led by the people, and it's a convergence of people and process and bringing in better, processes to make sure that the business is more efficient. So this year, I guess my role is going to be meshing together or combining together both the aspects of the business transformation and the digital transformation, bringing it both together, making sure that it's successful. And not to mention, we have the CFO, like good CFOs nowadays. CFOs are asking for, what is the ROI? You guys are investing so much on technology. What is the return on my dollar? What am I going to get at the end of your technology initiative? So I guess I'll be working both with the CEO and the CFO to make sure that the management strategies that we have is going to come together and going to be successful.
Thank you so much, sir, for your answer. My next question is, can you provide insights into the top priorities and initiatives on your agenda for 2024? And what do you believe are the primary reasons organizations sometimes hesitate to fully embrace the cloud's capabilities?
Okay. I will answer that in a few parts, right? First, you asked about what is our top priorities and our top initiatives. Definitely AI, providing AI capabilities to our customers whenever it's possible. So we are working with the teams and partners to build AI capabilities into every one of our solutions that we provide. I keep talking about this. We are working with some of the judicial system in India. So it's as simple as digitizing the records that's existing since we got independence. And once it is digitized, once we have all of them stored with us on the cloud, introducing a ChatGPT kind of a generative AI, that's going to be as simple as asking the judicial system a question. Hey, give me the judgment in the 1966 case of so-and-so versus the government, and I'd like to see that. And within a matter of seconds, it will throw up. And just imagine the kind of a transition, the kind of a transformation that it's going to have in the Indian judicial system. This is something that I keep telling my team, saying that, hey, we can achieve this. Just make sure that we are providing the right AI capabilities to our customers. And also the ease of use. Nowadays, nobody wants to go through a very cumbersome process, learning new technologies, learning new things. So we make it as easy as possible to the customers for them to use it. And one of the other things that we are also embarking on is a digital marketing. This is something which I am not really expert in, but we have experts who are helping us in the digital marketing. We are going to use technology to make a compelling case for people to become more informed about our products and services. So these are some of the initiatives that we are taking up. And did you ask me about cloud?
Yes, sir. The other question was, what do you believe are the primary reasons organizations sometimes hesitate to fully embrace the cloud's capabilities?
Okay. The cloud and the cloud technologies have been around for many years now, and still, people are hesitant to fully embrace the cloud because of various reasons, and they are legitimate also, right? I will probably illustrate that with two live examples, two things that I have come across, I have noticed. The first one is one of my friend. He is a seasoned cloud leader. He has been part of several cloud initiatives in corporates. So, successful ones. He's done a really good initiative with one of the large corporate houses, and he's been successful in that. Now, he joined a hospital as a CDO. He's trying to bring in cloud technologies. So some of the challenges or the hesitancy that he and his management in the hospital are facing are, first thing, they like to understand the cost. Hospital is a business that is running very thin. We may think that they're charging us too much, but the expenses are so high. So for them to invest in an initiative that is going to help them become more digital, more cloud enabled, is going to be cost sensitive, right? So he needs to make a justification to the team about cost, because that is one of the doubts or the hesitances that they have. The second is, unlike an IT company or a corporate where resources were available, in a hospital, people with expertise around cloud, whether it's be it for migration or maintenance or kind of a backup, they don't have the kind of expertise, and that is also prevalent in many of the different enterprises. Expertise around cloud technologies is difficult to find. There's difficulty to find talent, seasoned people who are available to join both with the expertise on the technology and also the domain. That is a little bit of a challenge. Third one, it's a hospital. So quite obviously they have legacy systems. They have their HIS, they have their EMRs and their PACS, and they have several applications that help them. And they also have their infrastructure, which is pretty old. And for them, they like to look at, if I were to make a decision to move to the cloud, what will happen to all this infrastructure that I have? Will it be compatible? Will it be something that I can still work with? Now, these are the challenges that he and the hospital are facing. And this is leading to a little bit of a challenge in adopting the cloud. The second customer is one of our customers, and they were a microfinance, and now they become a bank because they've recently got a banking license. So some of the hesitance is that they want to move to the cloud. They want to move their applications to the cloud. They want to become more agile, more nimble. They want to meet the demands of their customers who are more technology oriented, savvy. So, but their hesitances are different. One of them is around security, data privacy. Since it's a bank, is my money or is all my transactions that I'm going to put on somebody else's mercy, the cloud provider, is it going to be safe? Are we going to have security? And so, secondly, banking industry in India and worldwide is very regulatory, compliant. It has to have a certain degree of compliance. So, will they have compliance issues when they move to the cloud? The third one is they have numerous people who transact from all across the world. And when they have people, customers operating from different locations and different time zones, what about the question of latency? The cloud promises about 99.1% availability. And what about latency? Right? Reliability is there, but what about the number of hops that my transaction has to make before it reaches a customer? Is a customer going to be affected? Are they going to be waiting? Now, these are some of the challenges that are faced that aid people in hesitating in fully embracing the cloud.
Thank you, sir, for your answer. My next question is, how can the above challenges be overcome to leverage the cloud's full potential?
All right. Yeah. So as you know, every problem has got a solution, right? So the cloud providers, the cloud people who provide the cloud enablement, and also the service providers, and also the technology companies that help and guide you through the cloud journey. They have provided ready-made solutions, right? As far as cost is concerned, there are a lot of tools available, and there's a lot of studies that help you evaluate the cost that you have to spend, both in terms of the capital cost and also the operational cost, and cost in terms of scalability. When you want to scale your infrastructure or bring in new technologies, there's always a cost calculator that helps you in determining your cost before you actually commit. That's one of them. And with compliance and security, the service providers provide you security certificates, and they provide you a lot of compliance certifications that help you comply with your regulatory orders, and something that you can provide on demand to any one of the regulatory authorities or even to your customers. And thirdly, with latency, there's content delivery networks available now. Those can be leveraged. There's edge computing, computing or processing power at the that stops the reliance of sending data back and forth. It sort of curtails it. So we have the edge computing available. Then we have the traffic optimization techniques, data compression, caching, load balancing. All these are traffic optimization methods that IT folks who are now have a lot of expertise, they can help in the latency issues, and also the network redundancy, having backup connections all across, near shore, somewhere near your business operation, and they all can combine together and help in your latency, solving your latency issues.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for your answer. My last question for the session will be, what are the key misconceptions or myths about cloud technology or that you encounter, and how can these be dispelled to help organization embrace cloud with confidence?
All right. The first fallacy that everybody should understand, that the cloud is magic, and that's where all the magic happens. No, It's not like that. It's cloud is a venture that you are entering into to save a lot of resources that you don't have expertise in, but somebody else can take care of that expertise. So firstly, the myth that, once you move to the cloud, everything is going to happen and a lot of magic is going to happen. I think that is something that people who are going to go on the cloud needs to embrace, right? The first thing is, once I move to the cloud, everything is done. I'm settled. I'm sorted. I think that is something that people have to understand. And also, the cloud cannot be used for everything, right? There are certain applications, there are certain technologies that are suited more for the movement to the cloud, and those should be moved, right? The other applications, the other things which you can have closer to you, which you can still have on-premise, maintain it and manage it, those need to be managed here. So that's the second myth. And then the third myth is that there's a lot of talk around this security. The understanding that cloud is highly insecure. Everybody says, oh, there's a lot of data breaches that happen. There's a lot of hacking that happens. So thinking that the cloud is inherently insecure is actually a myth, is actually a fallacy, because the cloud the service providers are now enabled with a lot of technology and teams who keep on monitoring for any kind of vulnerabilities, attacks, and within a matter of hours, they provide you a logical way out to come out of if there is a breach, right? So that's one of them. The next myth is that people who are going on to the cloud think that the cloud providers have access to all my data. Now, true that your data resides on somebody else's cloud and they have access to the data, but it's not necessarily that they are going to access your data all the time, right? It's just like saying, I'm going to keep my jewelry in the bank locker and the bank has got access. True, the bank has access to your this thing. You have the keys. The bank person has got the keys, but then they're not going to be sitting and fiddling with your jewelry, right? So your data is pretty much safe on the cloud. So the myth that cloud providers have got access to your data, they're going to provide play mischief with it, I think that is something that we'll have to get away with. And finally, a lot of enterprises think that cloud is only for the big businesses. It's not for a medium-sized or a small-sized enterprise like us. So it's nothing like that. The big corporations or the big enterprises have got their own challenges, have got their own space to move their data and their resources onto the cloud. And also the small ones. For example, we worked with the church and they wanted to embrace the cloud. And it was as simple as they wanted to put some of their video recordings onto the cloud. It's a non-critical function and it's a small enterprise, but then they were able to move to the cloud. So the cloud is for everyone. It's not necessarily only for the big guys. Right. So these are some of the myths. And I'm sure working together with a lot of cloud service providers, with a lot of third-party agencies that help in your AWS and Azure or GCP or any of the cloud service providers, and they have their own people, they have their own cohorts who work on behalf of them. If you need to embrace the cloud, you can work with any of these providers.
Thank you so much, sir. With that, we come to the end of the session. Thank you so much for sharing such insightful knowledge with us. I'm sure our CXO TV audience will have a lot of important insights to take away from this session. It was an absolute pleasure to host you in our CI Agenda series.
Thank you, Nikita. The pleasure is mine. Absolutely. I loved it. I loved enjoying and sharing all these thoughts that I had for many, many years. I'm really happy and look forward.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.